kids cry.
It's a girl. It's a
Welcome and thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a quick episode. I am going to let you all know 5 ways on what you can do to help your child be bilingual. So this is personally a list of things of what I am doing. So it might not work for you, but this is what I'm trying. This is what I've kind of been able to do and figure out and what works for my family. These 5 ways are in no particular order, so let's begin. Number 1, the most obvious, the más fácil, is talk to your child in that language. Have everyone you know that speaks that language talk to them in that language. So para mí, yo hablo español con mis hijos y yo les digo a mi familia, a mis amigas, toda la gente que habla español, por favor, hable español con mis hijos. If you speak Spanish, please talk to my child in Spanish. And that's pretty easy, right? Number 2 is similar to number 1. So number 2, translate when you can. So for example, my husband speaks English to my kids. So when he says something in English, I usually say it in Spanish. This is mostly with my husband that I translate for my kids. So, you know, he might be like, do you want to go eat? Amor, quiere comer. Tiene hambre, are you hungry? You know what I mean? So I translate it and back to Spanish. Number 3, movies, music, any screen time, if they have the setting for that language, put it in that language. So every time I'm doing screen time with my daughter, it's in Spanish because I understand it. When my husband does it, it is in English, but sometimes he will watch it in Spanish and put subtitles in English. Music, so Spanish music, I love reggaeton, salsa, you know, so if she listens to Spanish music, all her favorite movies, she sings them in Spanish, shows Spanish. If there is a Spanish option in the audio, you have to put it, you gotta literally put like settings, audio, Spanish. If they have it, I'm putting it in Spanish for her. Yeah. And if it's in English, I'm gonna look to see if it's in Spanish. If it's not, then she watches it in English. But for the most part, she's always gonna be watching something in Spanish when she's doing screen time, which is not always. 4, read to them in Spanish or in whatever language you want them to learn. I read to them in Spanish. I'm not gonna lie, I've been slacking a little bit, but I do try to read books to them in Spanish. Just a way that we're told to read to your child, period. I just do that, but in Spanish. My husband has tried to do it in Spanish, and it's pretty entertaining. I love the effort. He still reads to them in English, but when my friends are coming over and they speak Spanish, here, read a Spanish book to my child. The 5th thing that I do with my child to help them learn Spanish is I buy them workbooks. Well, I just started because my daughter's only 2. But I have workbooks for her, like flashcards, the like visual things in Spanish, alphabets in Spanish, animals in Spanish, like everything that's learning, like to teach a child things that you may regularly do for English, I do it in Spanish. The alphabet in Spanish, which there's more letters in the Spanish alphabet, if you didn't know. I will put links on some of the Spanish workbooks and activities that I have bought for my child, and I usually get it on Amazon. Also, if my family is going out the country, which is usually Colombia, because I'm half Colombian, I have them like bring me stuff from there, which is pretty fortunate. So I have like books that were brought to me from Colombia, and like puzzles that were brought from Colombia and all of that. So that's what I do. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Peace and love.